Welcome for this practice. I'm leading this particular session as a part of a yoga psychology training weekend. If teacher training interests you, please check out the URL here. This practice is going to be looking at the ways in which the human mind chases things like raga, clinging, or dvesha, aversion. I'll talk a bit about some concepts in yoga psychology. Then we'll go into a pranayama practice that helps you to come into a quality we call upeksha, or equanimity. The equanimity of the heart that is not chasing raga and not moving away from dvesha, right? Clinging and aversion, clinging and aversion. We don't want to be on that pendulum because it's fundamentally exhausting. And it also narrows our life experiences. It narrows it down to the things that we prefer and causes us to have aversion for things we don't prefer. So thank you for being here for class. Let's go into the practice now. For this morning's practice, we'll be looking again at the three lenses through which we can see pranayama. So that is Brahmana, Samana, and Langana. These three lenses tell us, do we want to help somebody nourish or nutrify or build up their energy? Do they need to be more robust? That could be physical or mental. Samana is for balancing. Does it need to be more balanced between Brahmana and Langana? Or does somebody need more Langana, the experience of resolving or pacifying or grounding? Of course, when we're practicing pranayama, we are also determining within our own experiments what is happening for our inner experience. And then we're going to take that internal knowledge and bring that to our students or our clients. So please take a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands in your lap. Allow your eyes to close. And begin by lengthening up through your spine. Release your shoulder blades down your upper back. Drop into your sitting bones and all the places where you have a sense of connection with the ground beneath you. And allow your breathing to guide you back home, not by changing the breath nor coordinating it, by simply noticing that your body is being breathed. When you come into awareness of the breath, often that also means we come into awareness of the pattern of breath holding or mental distraction or physical tension. And so if you notice anything, in addition to those, of course, anything else that you notice, touch what you're noticing with loving attention. So if there's a place of physical holding in your body, just bring a loving attention to that holding. If you have mental restlessness, bring this kindness or loving attention to that mental restlessness. Because our minds are habituated to have preference and then craving, or aversion and resistance, it can be difficult to bring this loving attention or this loving presence to all things. We often reserve that for our preferences. We have loving attention for that which feels easeful or vital in our bodies, and not as often for that which feels painful or difficult. So notice what it's like to shine that loving attention equally on these experiences. You might also, of course, be aware of the mind that has preferences. Now begin to deepen your breathing on purpose. So a little longer inhale, a little longer exhale. Sense the inhale beginning at the base of the spine. So it's beginning at the pelvic floor, moving up, and it's concentrically expansive. That includes the back and the sides of the waist and the heart. And then the exhale, also beginning at the base of the pelvis and coming up through the inner abdomen. That process, both inhale and exhale begin in the same place. As you follow the inhalation, moving upwards and expanding, notice if you could infuse the breath with that loving attention, what might it offer to the inner body, including the inner landscape of your emotions or even the organs, the digestion, the lungs, the heart. As you follow the pathway of the exhale, what might that offer in terms of a kind of toning or connecting? Notice the gentle pause at the top of your inhale and at the bottom of your exhale. And this loving attention, I'm going to ask you to exude the qualities also of patience, of appreciation for what your body is doing right now. We can take an overall perspective that there's no symptom or sensation that is bad or wrong, but in fact, those are information delivery techniques from our bodies. Symptoms are little clusters of information from our body, asking for our loving attention, not our judgment or scorn. Let's do 2 more breath cycles. Just follow the pathway of the inhale, follow the pathway of the exhale. Let your mind be absorbed in there. And then release the breath, and please raise your hands to your heart. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Savidyang Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidveshavai Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Savidyang Karavavai Tejas
Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidveshavahi. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidveshavahi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om.
You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. So in the realm of the human condition, of course, we have preferences. Yoga asks us to look into that mind that has these preferences and that gets, let's say, overcommitted to certain preferences in the form of clinging, craving, grasping, longing, wanting. That's summarized in the word raga, which means desire. And raga can be neutral, like desire can be used to explain the deep driving desire somebody has for liberation or for awakening or for a sense of wholeness or peace. So raga means desire, but when we're looking at the human condition and how it goes out of balance, it also means clinging, craving, grasping, wanting mind, the wanting mind. And so what happens is we have experiences of punya, the pleasant experiences. We have experiences of sukha, experiences of ease or contentment. And we want more of those, of course. But we also have experiences of apunya, the unpleasant, or experiences of dukkha, of suffering. For example, these are tied together. When we're having sukha, we want it to last. And then we have the dukkha, the suffering when the sukha is ending or fading or is getting interrupted. So even sukha and dukkha are interconnected, they're interrelated. Insofar as we don't want dukkha, it's hard to have sukha. So we spend our time avoiding dukkha, avoiding suffering, avoiding displeasure, avoiding things, being in aversion. And that doesn't make it so easy for us to access sukha or to drop into sukha. So sukha and dukkha are words describing happiness or ease, and then suffering or difficulties. Punya means pleasant, and apunya is non-pleasant. When we have the apunya and the dukkha, we then experience dvesha. And dvesha means hatred or resistance, moving away from the not wanting mind. I don't want this. Not wanting to be too cold, not wanting to be too uncomfortable, not wanting to be too overwhelmed, of course. It's understandable that the brain, at a primitive level, does not want certain overwhelming experiences, particularly if we didn't receive the internal scaffold for being able to meet those experiences or to grant permission to the whole of our human condition, all of the internal experiences that we can have. If we didn't get the scaffold of that, the internal scaffold for that, it's because we weren't given that environment in our developing years. We may have had a family circumstance, a community circumstance, or a societal circumstance in which we learned to resist certain things and to bias other things, and to bias that which makes people comfortable, happy, sukha, that which makes them feel more pleasant, punya. So in that biasing, we develop a lifestyle that biases one, and then we come to yoga practice and we learn that we can feel all of the sensations and all of the emotions. We can feel the whole of our experience. We start to round out the human condition and who we are. We become more able to sense the dukkha and its purpose, its instructions for us. And at the highest level, that dukkha, when we see it and we sense it in ourselves or in others, it is asking us to then become a presence in our lives that helps to liberate people from unnecessary suffering, including ourselves. That effort to alleviate unnecessary pain and suffering is a path of the bodhisattva. So in this experience where we have the preferring mind, the wanting mind and the not wanting mind, we are instructed through yoga to come to equanimity, upekshanam, to find our place with an evenness of mind and heart towards all things. Pranayama is an excellent practice for coming into that equanimity. And so as we practice, let's see if we can feel into the upekshanam of the heart that accepts sukha and dukkha. It has space for punya and apunya. It is not an illusion about needing only punya or only sukha. It's not confused. The mind that is not confused. So we are not swung between raga and dvesha like a pendulum or a monkey on a branch. We're not swung like that. We can rest in the equanimity of the heart. So to begin this experience, we'll do a couple practices that I like to call blowing off techniques. And what that means is that we practice releasing the excess physiology that causes us to feel restless. Okay, so first blowing off technique, it's going to be rapid, strong inhale, rapid, strong exhale. The arms go up, we spread the fingers, the arms come down, we make two fists. Okay, so it goes like this. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, go up. Exhale. Rest your hands in your lap. Release your thinking mind. Now place your awareness in the solar plexus. And if we look at the lens of yoga with things like the chakras, the solar plexus is the pitta dosha. It's the fire element here. And pitta is known for wanting. And this is also your digestion, and it's known for like craving. So let's see if we can use this center more for a sense of discernment and clarity. We're going to do kappalabhati, so it'll be a pulsation of the breath moving to stoke this fire of discernment, not the fire of craving, of wanting, but the fire of discernment. So fire creates light. From light we see, and we can see with discernment and clarity. Okay, so it goes like this, out through the nose this time. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale completely. And then inhale slowly from the base of the pelvis. Inhale circumferentially up to the heart and suspend. release the suspension in your own timing. Exhale completely, but gently. And relax the thinking mind, the wanting mind, the not wanting mind. And we'll do one more blowing off technique where you're moving energy rapidly and trying to come back to homeostasis. This one, we're going to place the hands on the shoulders. So then the torso is open through here. We're going to use that kappalabhati breathing, but we're going to go side to side, side to side. So exhale, 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 exhale. The inhale is there, but it's not focused on, because for each exhale, a little wisp of an inhale is happening. So it's not that you have no inhalation, it's that the exhale is powerful, and in the retraction of the exhale, in the space that it leaves, a little in-breath comes quite naturally. Now place your hands on your shoulders, and let's begin. Five, four, three, two, one. Come to center. Exhale completely. Inhale up to suspension again. And then exhale slowly in your own timing. Allow the breath to be very simple. And see if you can drop into the stillness, the aspect of you that is neither chasing raga nor dvesha, neither moving away from aversion nor moving towards, which is craving. And we're going to come to the Ujjayi breath. So place the tip of the tongue behind the top two teeth, make the back of the throat hollow. So there'll be this chamber through which the inhale and exhale are moving. And you'll hear a little silky whispering sound to the breath. You'll want the inhale to include the pelvic basin, the side torso, the back waist, the front waist, and then up into the heart, sides of the chest, back of the heart. And the exhale is like a zipper coming up. Cultivate a smooth pace to the breath. And once you come into the practice and you sense the inhale and exhale, then begin balancing your in-breath with your out-breath so they're equal in length. Need one more breath cycle where the inhale is balanced to the exhale. Notice the concentration that is required for that. When you release the breath at the end of the next exhale, also relax the effort to concentrate and move to the higher quality of simple awareness. Concentration precedes this meditative awareness. What we then release concentration to rest in meditative awareness is called dhyana. And the next practice we're going to do is called Dirga Pranayama. It means 3-part inhalation. The practice of Ujjayi was an uninterrupted inhalation, and I suggested that you would fill the pelvic basin, the mid-torso, front and back, side to side, the heart, the upper back. Those are the 3 geographical regions for the inhalation when we think of a 3-part inhale, Dirga Pranayama. We're going to do a technique where we use the arms to help us designate the first third, middle third, and the upper third of the breath. And then we'll use the exhale to simply come back down. So we're going to focus on this 3-part inhalation without any interruptions, but just making it geographically noted to ourselves. The arms will aid you in getting a more complete inhale. Let's again aim to balance the inhale with the exhale. Take the arms out to the side. And then breathing in when you're ready to, the first third, the middle third, the upper third, and then exhale. And though the arms are going down, the exhale still travels from the base of the spine upwards and outwards. And at your own pace, continue. You want to have a sense that you are evenly distributing the inhalation into those 3 regions of your torso. And to help you with the evenness of the distribution, you could inhale and count. You might want to count by a number that is easily divided by 3. You might do 3, 3, 3, or 4, 4, 4. So count for yourself, and then count the exhale to balance the inhale as well. You may be noticing there's an extra layer of concentration that's required. You might also notice that you have difficulty with one part of the breath or another. Again, bring a quality of loving attention to any of the difficulties. At the end of your next exhale, you can relax your hand back to your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Release the breath completely. Release the act of concentration. The word for that is dharana, concentration. So release that and move into meditative awareness or dhyana. Maybe you go to samadhi. I welcome you to be there. And see if your mind has a capacity in this dhyana, this meditative awareness. Is the quality of upeksha or equanimity accessible to you? Would you imagine an evenness of mind and heart towards sensations, thoughts, emotions, people, different weather patterns? Could you have an evenness of mind? Now practice the next stage of Dirga Pranayama. And to learn this as you're beginning the practice, we're going to actually do it in a reclined format. You will need 2 blocks to do this. So you'll also want to have the wingspan that you could make for a snow angel. You live where there's never been snow. Apologies for that. You'll see what I mean by snow angel in just a moment. So we're going to take 1 block for the shoulder blades and 1 block for the head. Okay, and so place those on your mat lengthwise. And when you get set up here, you're going to stretch back so that you have your shoulder blades on the first block. And they rest there so that if you take the arms out into a T shape, you can feel the opening of the chest and the shoulders like this. Watch out for the snow angel, just checking. Yeah. Okay, so the arms in a snow angel position go like this. When we make snow angels here where there's a snow opportunity. When we had snow recently this last month, I was in the hot tub and then we go on the back deck and we lie in the snow and we make the snow angel. Yeah. Okay, so here what we're going to do then is the inhale, first third, middle third, upper third. And this time we are actually going to pause between those thirds. So it's inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause. Right? And so if you count by a number like 3, then you inhale for 3, pause for 3, inhale for 3, pause for 3, inhale for 3, pause for 3. And then the exhale, the arms come down and you're releasing that smoothly, no interruptions for the exhale. So let's try it for a count of 3, which means that some of you might be counting a little quicker 3 and some might count a little bit slower 3. So take your arms down alongside your torso. And then beginning, inhale for 3. Pause for 3. Inhale for 3. Pause for 3. Inhale for 3. Pause for 3. And exhale. And then you could rest a moment, or you can continue. Ideally, you're going to choose a pace that you can do sequentially with this breathing. But if you need to pause between breath cycles, don't deny that to yourself. Okay, let's give it a go. Please do 2 more cycles. You might again be noticing how much concentration is required. So you're training your mind to be able to move into meditative awareness from dharana, concentration, to dhyana, meditative awareness. Stay with the concentration. And so last breath cycle now. Final round for Dirga Pranayama. And then relax where you are. Thoughtfully roll to your side. Come up to kneeling. When you come up to kneel, go ahead and pause and just give yourself a few moments to notice if the mind, now being upright again, can have this experience of meditative awareness. And can you also experience upekshanam, equanimity? These techniques that we've been doing with the ujjayi breathing, with the inhale that we're doing in 3 parts, with that sense of inhale suspension 3 times, these are considered Brahmana techniques. So they're building techniques. They build energy and vitality and even stamina for meditation. Let's put 2 fists like this. We're going to do a Longana technique, a pacifying or soothing technique. It's intended to help us balance the prana in the body. There are multiple forms of prana. You want those to be balanced for meditation. And for some of you, if we do only building techniques, when you get to meditation, your mind is going to feel busy versus feeling clear and lustrous and strong. So in this case, you put 2 fists into the upper belly, and we're going to bow forward like this in child's pose. When you come down, it may not be comfortable to get your head all the way to the floor, in which case a block comes to the floor to give you support. The idea is that your hips stay on your heels and that we're going to apply some pressure against the abdomen, around which we're going to be breathing and relaxing into that pressure. So you could start with a block or 2 if you need to. For your head, I'll just show with 1. And we're going to put 2 fists like this into the upper belly, but not against the floating ribs. And come forward. You do want the thighs to be providing pressure to the fists so that the fists are providing pressure in the abdomen. And then you can breathe around those sensations. Notice that the inhale will naturally expand across the back of the waist and the sides of the waist because the fists are in the upper abdomen. And rise up to kneeling. So we have the fists in the upper abdomen. Let's go now to the navel center. So you're going to be in the middle of the abdomen. And do your best to relax into the breath here, knowing that some of the tension you feel in the belly is a chance to practice not giving in to dvesha or aversion. Rise up to kneeling. We're getting warmed up, really. The first two positions are warm-ups. And now put the fists in the lower belly, the lowest part of the abdomen. So you're down in the inguinal groove and just above the pubic bone. Go ahead and come down. And of course, if you're pregnant, this is contraindicated. If you have your menstrual cycle, it's contraindicated. But as you come into the position, if neither of those concerns are there, let the fists apply pressure in the inner belly, the lower belly. That is why the thighs are still together, so the fists have a place to be supported from. And see if you can breathe around the sensations of your fists. Encourage your body and your mind to relax around the sensations. If needed, you can have that quality of loving attention towards any of the sensations, even towards the thoughts which do not all need to be followed through on. You might find that very naturally the exhale pause starts to feel really comfortable, and you just simply relax in the exhale pause. And the next inhale comes without any sense of urgency. The inhale might become more of like a little sip of an inhale. It's not because you can't breathe, it's because your body doesn't need a huge inhale. There's a release of the exhale, might be a relatively brief exhale, but the exhale pause may be comfortable to linger in. We'll just stay for another few moments. You can explore that if it's happening. And then inhale, rise up to kneeling. Rest your hands in your lap. You can close the eyes. Listen for what is happening now for you in terms of your mind accessing equanimity. Equanimity means you'd have an evenness of attitude towards everything rising and passing, and not be in the tumult of preferences or clinging nor aversion. Equanimity does not mean that you lose your value system in life, nor that you stop advocating for a better world. It's a quality of mind and heart, allows us to be in the difficulties and to even be with difficult people. Let's take a seat, please, in the place that you feel most comfortable for meditation. As you get seated for meditation, establish your hips as you need them to be, establish the blanket, the ankles, whatever is going to keep that to be less distracting. And then rest your hands in your lap. Use only enough physical tone in the body to sit upright, to be in your upright position. So tone is different than tension. Relax any unnecessary tension in the abdomen. Keep a nice length for the spine, including reaching upwards from the base of your skull to the crown of your skull. Gently tip your chin a little bit in and down towards your throat. That will direct your internal gaze down in towards your body. You could go towards the heart if you prefer that. Rest your thinking mind in the silence that is neither sukha nor dukkha, neither punya nor apunya, neither raga nor dvesha. As you rest your thinking mind, allow awareness mind to have as much presence as possible. appreciation for your efforts, please raise your hands to your heart.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So may you have access to the heart of Upekshanam. Upeksha means equanimity. May you have a sense of that evenness towards all things, while also cultivating this loving attention for whatever is arising. It's like granting permission for what happens to be there. We sometimes say, that which we resist persists. What we resist persists. And we also have a phrase, that which we resist or don't give attention to, it's going to ultimately end up needing more from us. It might even cause a rupture. So that which we resist persists and can cause a rupture in the system. Like we feel disconnected from ourselves. We become more mentally agitated with ourselves as we're resisting something. It ends up gathering energy and then can become a rupture. We have another phrase where we say, that which doesn't get repair repeats itself. So if it's not repaired, it repeats. And so when we're granting access, permission, even a warm welcome towards the difficulties, we're actually asking for healing. And can I also heal the part of myself that lives in resistance to these things? Can I heal that in me which believes I don't know how to feel these emotions or these experiences, or that sometimes it's actually happiness or joy we feel resistance to? Do I have permission to feel happiness or joy? For example, if somebody that I love is suffering, is it okay for my life to have some joy in it? Is that permittable? Right? So there can be this confusion in the human realm. And that's where these teachings of yoga can be so helpful, that we all are experiencing the human condition. We all have permission for the human condition as it's coming and going. We may not all experience aspects of the human condition equally. There may be people who have more natural joy and people who have more difficulty or suffering. We don't know the soul's journey from one person to the next. But in our journey, can we practice welcoming what is coming, whether that's joyful experiences or difficult experiences? And can we get comfortable feeling that full bandwidth of our human experience? At the same time, we are not just scuba diving for these different kinds of fish to see and look at in the psyche of the human experience. We are also trying to understand what is the ocean and what is the nature of life. So these practices are to guide us ultimately to qualities of heart like upekshanam, equanimity, compassion, karuna, loving kindness, maitri or metta, and appreciative joy, the happiness that we can have for other people's experiences, which is called mudita. And hello, Nandita. This kitty's name is Nandita. Rhymes with mudita. She's going to have a little bath. I think she's off screen right now. She just popped into a little bathing opportunity. Yeah. So may this practice help you with those things. And of course, if you have any questions about such, you can always ask the questions. And this video on YouTube lets you put comments below the video. So that's a place for questions also. And thank you very much once again. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me and with the community. This session was a part of a yoga psychology training weekend. If that kind of training interests you, or if pranayama as a practice interests you more completely, please check out the training school URL that's here across the bottom of the screen. And do leave your questions and comments down below the video. I enjoy seeing those. And if this practice was helpful to you, please click the like button. That is helpful to us and to the channel. that we can keep putting out more content that we know is aligned with what you're needing and wanting. So thank you once again. Namaste.